Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge, and this is episode number 1040, and we're going to give you a quick recap of the Clifford Truck Show that happened earlier this month. Great show, had record trucks, and a whole lot more. So we'll give you a little recap on what happened when we were at the show right after this, so stay with us. Hey folks, are you an owner-operator looking for a place to call home? Well, Rims Transport is based out of Hamilton, Ontario, and that's right, they are a place, owner-operator fleet only. They run flatbed out of Hamilton, and they don't run much more than 500 to 700 mile radius. So if you're looking for a place that you can get back home on a regular basis, you can get good miles, they have a great culture for owner-operators, and they want you to succeed, then Rims Transport is the place to do that. Where can you learn more? Go to rimstransport.com. Make sure you tell them that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you, and we want you to be successful. We know them personally over there, and we know they're going to take good care of you. You got open board, you've got tandem US, you got multi-axle US, you got city, you got all kinds of positions available there, all owner-operator fleet. So if you want to be successful for 2023 and beyond, then get on with Rims Transport and tell them we sent you. All right, everybody, talk to you later. Go to rimstransport.com. All right, so we had a really good time. We were not actually expecting to be up at the Clifford Truck Show at all. Didn't realize it wasn't one of our planned stops, but it's one of those stops that we try to get to on a regular basis whenever we can. So unfortunately, it's also one of those stops where it can take all day to go 50 feet because there's so many great trucks and so many great people. We walked right as soon as I went through the gate, and I got up there. I had another event. So here's my schedule. I usually try to go up there for the day, and I usually go up on the Friday just because it's a little easier to walk around. I went up on the Saturday. I had another event in Collingwood that night, so I was only here for about 4 hours at Clifford, and I didn't realize that Burlington to Clifford is 2 hours, and Clifford to Collingwood is 2 hours, and Collingwood back to Burlington is 2 hours. So I felt like I was doing some trucking with which felt good to get back out in the country and do some of that. So we ended up at the Clifford Truck Show, and as soon as I walked in, I kind of didn't know what I was planning on doing. In fact, actually, my goal for the whole show was to just get some featured trucks, get about 4 trucks. I wanted to make sure I featured about 4 trucks. That was my goal. If I got that, I was happy because that's basically the content I was looking to get. Well, when you get in there, it's a different thing. I walked through, and the first thing I got to say is a hello to Scotty and the whole picnic table gang. There was, 10 of them. If you don't know, Scotty's got the rolling picnic table. You'll see him at truck shows and all of that. I don't know what happened to the umbrella. I haven't seen it for the last couple shows. But this is a cool way to see the show. It's a picnic table on wheels. It's electric, and it just drives around. He hasn't walked a show in I don't know how long now. Very cool. So I walked in, and the first bunch of them were there. So they got the first set of keychains as being fan club members because they are already there. And that was when you enter the show, you get into what they call the cab over area. And I gotta say, there was some interesting trucks here this year. Like the first one, and we're gonna be featuring this at the end of this. If you're listening to this the day of the first week of August, you're gonna see this truck. And this is a Seagrave fire truck that has been taken over, and it's by Mike Fox. And unfortunately, I had an interview with Mike, but it didn't come out. The audio didn't come out, so I'm not able to use it. But this thing has been done. It's all. It's got beautiful airbrush flames on it. It's white. It's a convertible truck with the side compartment. The engine compartment lifts up by the side, which is really, really cool. I thought this was a very unique truck. I'd never seen it before. Had a great conversation with Mike. He just drives it around. This thing is a very unique. So make sure you check out our episode 1044 in August. You're going to see that whole truck, and it is really cool. Ran into Brett and Diane from Chrome Supply Warehouse. They were walking around, so it's good to see them and see all the stuff they're doing. Catch up with them. I haven't seen them for a while. Well, I saw them in June. Ran into a new fan club member while I was there, Sherry Grubb. Big shout out to Sherry. She came up and this is where I just put in my camera. Like I hadn't done anything yet. I had just kind of walked through the door, and Sherry was there, and she says, "Hey, I listen to you guys all the time." So took a selfie there, and she's joined our fan club since, which is very, very cool. So then the cab over area, I think, is one of my favorite areas, just because I started in cab overs, and I got to sell Bellemare, Andre Bellemare out of Quebec, had this stunning, and I mean stunning, Freightliner cab over double bunk, and this thing was a very sweet ride. It was stretched right out, chrome to the nines. The trailer matches it as well, and this thing was just very, very sweet. And we're gonna be featuring that as well in August, so you'll see that truck. But this thing was a really nice cab over unit, and had all the bells and whistles, and looked really good. Stefan, what's Stefan's last name? I don't have it here. Stefan had his international there. Stefan Constantin. He's out of Hamilton. You've probably seen his TransStar running around. He's a really international lover. And he had his F9370 up there, 1991 international. And this thing is just, he does not miss a trick on this thing. He had it in the old school. It's not a conventional, it's a conventional international one he had there. He had two of his trucks there, and they all look just absolutely gorgeous. You'll see that as well. Good to see Bruce Petrie and his friend up there. Good to see fan club members always roaming around. This show brings out a lot of the old school truckers because of the make of the show. The show is made for old trucks. It's not made for the newer vehicles. So it is specialized in that. Saw some really nice, there was a lot of Kenworths there. 1973 Kenworths and 75 Kenworths seemed to really rock the show. Billy Baker had one out there. There was even a mini Kenworth, which I thought was really cool. I might actually need that just to drive around with, a little 1969 KW W900 Mini. Of course, we saw our friends over at the 519 Loud and Proud show, and I gotta say a big shout out to Jay and his team. Thank you so much. They put our logo on their trailer, and we just love this. Just love this trailer, love the team. Didn't make that show this year, unfortunately, due to another event, but that's always a good show, although I did hear that they had some issues this year. Walking around, so when you go in, you've got the cab over area and kind of the old conventional area. And then you walk around and they bring it into other ones. There was a nice one there from Stewart, a nice day cab Pete I really liked. You'll see that coming up in the later on there. There was some Marmon talked with Charlie Tackaberry with his Marmon out there. That was a really nice deal. He always keeps it up into a really good thing. You'll see that coming up in the future as well. And some of just the old school. Brooks had a single axle international there with a little pup trailer. It was just very, very cool. Talked with I think his name is Mike. Let's see. Wayne. Wayne is he helps a lot with Special Olympics. He has a really old, I think it's a Dodge, or what is it, a Ford or a Dodge? It's a 1954 Ford C600, and this thing needs a paint job. But he's at all the shows, and it's a really, really nice ride. And he's always there promoting Special Olympics and the truck ride. So good for him for being out on there. And I'm going to take a break here. When we come back, I'm going to share with you some of the cool names I saw on trucks, which I think is very, very cool. So stay with us. right, so one thing I was noticing walking around, there's the way people name their vehicles, I think, is the coolest thing. And I started taking pictures. I'm going to have to do a whole episode on this, but I just caught some of them here. You wonder, you see people put sayings on the back of their trucks or whatever. And this used to be an old school thing. I don't know if they're doing it so much anymore, but back in the day, back when I started driving, that was a normal thing to do. Everybody kind of named their truck or had a saying for their truck. So here's a couple that I saw here. One piece at a time, of course, if you're a Johnny Cash fan, you know that song One Piece at a Time, and that's how most trucks are built. So it was pretty cool. I'll get there when we do. It'll get there when we do. So that's basically saying the freight will get there when I get there. And of course, that used to be a regular saying in the industry as well. One called Old School, OLESKOOL. That was a cool one as well that we had there. Low Red Rider. So of course everybody's Red Rider was a popular handle back in the day. So there's just a few that I thought were very, very cool, and something that was really cool. Some great, even though some of them aren't really old school. There was like a 2003 Kenworth W900 there. Just a beautiful truck. Good to see. There seemed to be a lot of conventional Kenworths there this year. One Pete that I'm not sure I had a brown and blue paint job with a black striping package on it, and I'm still working on it. Not sure. I'm not sure I'm crazy about that. Always good to see some old school Kenworths. Like I said, there was a lot of them, and then there was one guy that I talked to, and he has one that is it's an old Kenworth, and it's got two bunks that he actually put together. So it's a single bunk, and then he attached another single bunk. And he let me have a look inside that. You'll see that. Big shout out to Alan Gunson for that. It's 1975 Kenworth B model. And it was good to see him. Good to see him doing that. There was another saying, "Old gal in a new dress." I like that one. And then, of course, a lot of just some really big trucks. There was a triple axle tractor from the Army there. One guy had on his fenders paws off, but it was a Tiger there. I thought was cool. You'll see some of this in the recap. Good to see Scotty with his Superliner, his Max Superliner there. And, of course, we caught up with Dan Davison and his friends as we were roaming the show, because he's always roaming the show as well. So some really good trucks. They had a record attendance this year. I believe there was I heard that there was 320 trucks, but don't quote me on that. But there was quite a lot. This is probably one of the biggest shows, the biggest lineups they've had, especially since the pandemic. Last year was kind of a weird show, and then this show they really seemed to get back on the ball. So kudos to everybody at the Clifford Truck Show for doing a great job. You'll see some of these trucks in the recap. If you want to go check out the video on this, you'll see a recap on this, and also you will, if you wanted to, you will see a lot of these as featured trucks going down the road as well. So I think that is pretty cool. Good to see everybody on. Good to see some of the fan club members around. We got some pictures taken with people, so that was very cool. So watch for us our next one, which we went over to the Great Canadian Truck Show after that show. So you'll see a highlight coming from that. And big shout out to everybody there for all the work you did and all the great stuff that you did. And if you want to get cool stuff for your ride, here's the people we suggest you go to. Hey folks, have you heard about the Chrome Supply Warehouse? That's right, this is one of the best chrome shops located in Belleville, Ontario. Exit 538 right off of the 401. I can tell you what, just go north, look for the blue glass building, which you can see right off of the highway. They got parking for 100 trucks, and they got every single type of chrome you want for your truck. Whether you're looking for interior parts like steering wheels or seats, whether you're looking for exterior parts like full fenders, or whether you're looking for custom parts like that cool grill or bumper. they can get it for you. Don't forget the lights. Don't forget the cleaning products. Don't forget all of that kind of stuff, because it's all right there in one spot. In fact, their shop is almost bursting at the seams. So where do you go? You can go online to ChromeSupplyWarehouse.com. You can check them out on their social media on Instagram, Facebook, or you can just drop in if you're going by. Belleville's located halfway between Toronto and Montreal. Drive in, exit 538, north side of the highway. Look for the big glass blue building. Tons of parking for trucks. They'll give you a coffee and a water, and you will have one of the best trucks on the road with their parts. They are determined to make sure that you look good. Make sure you tell them that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you, and we'll see you next time. All right, so yeah, that's where I get my parts for sure. Hey, you know what? Make sure you follow us on social. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and you can find me on LinkedIn. And don't forget to join us for our next big tour stop after this, which is Big Rig St. Thomas, Sparta. We will be out there. That's part of our Lead Pedal 1000 tour. We're going to be there for the whole weekend. Come by, check out the Lead Pedal fan zone. That's right, come and enjoy some stuff in our tent. It's going to be really cool, and we hope that you have a great time out there. It's one of the best shows going for us, and we look forward to seeing you there. So that's St. Thomas. Go to stracewaypark.com, I think it is, to check it all out, and we will be out there. All right, my friends, talk to you later. Thanks for being part of the show, and we will for listening to the show, and you can be part of it if you want. We will talk to you later. Next time, get out to Clifford. You can find out more about them at their Great Canadian Truck Club.com, I believe is their address. So anyway, just put up Clifford Truck Show. It'll come up wherever you are, and check out our video page for videos on this. All right, my friends, talk to you later. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com, and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.